Welcome, it's Krista Rose. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if it's the first time you've ever joined me. The energy of proving yourself is blocking you from so many things. So many things. Tying this in with being who you are. So there's split energy when it comes to proving yourself. If you have to worry about proving yourself, that means you're worrying about what other people think. When you're doing that, you're splitting your energy, and instead of focusing on the thing you actually want to do, things that you actually want to accomplish, you are partially focused on how other people are perceiving you, how other people are, like what other people are thinking about of you. Nothing that other people are thinking matters. And the more you make it matter, the more it's going to halt what you are trying to do, and it's going to dilute the things that you are doing that you are trying to put your focus on. There is like a magic in keeping things a secret. Because I, for a very long time, was wanting to talk about things with people. And granted, you could talk about things with the right people if you are sure you're talking about things with the right people. Especially when it comes to like creative things. You kind of will know, the more you're connected and aligned with yourself, you're going to know when and who. You're going to know when to share things, and you're going to kind of know, and I think sometimes because of the ego, we kind of want to share things, even when we shouldn't. Let me explain that, because sharing things that you're trying to work on and focus on that are for you, you could share them when they're finished, and that's absolutely what you should do. But while there is, like Abraham Hicks would say, while they're in the gestational phases or stages, you would want to not talk about it, because other people are going to put their opinions on that, and that could affect the flow of you working on it or not. That could really derail your progress or your process. At least that's what I found for myself. I found that people, I don't really need this in here. Although if I keep it in, it will, in between sipping, it might keep it warmer longer, because like I said, it is still pretty cold out. But when the sun comes out like it is right now, it's definitely, it's lovely. I love when it happens. Like the sun shining on this field with all the snow everywhere. It reminds me of, I think it's the movie X-Files, like the X-Files movie, the first one. Something about this, because there is a scene where I think they're actually in Antarctica. But I love that show. But anyway, it's an older show now. But getting back to what I was saying, split energy, which I've discussed at least 2 times, maybe 3, and I will definitely talk about it more, because it really affects a lot of what people are trying to do. The energy of proving yourself and trying to explain, over-explain, and get somebody on board with things that you're trying to do, especially if they're people that aren't connected with what it is that you're trying to do. Like, say you're trying to share something creative with somebody, and that's not a person that identifies themselves as a creative person, but it's like somebody that maybe they don't believe that they're creative. So basically, we'll just say that they're not creative because they say they're not creative. You are what you say you are. So you try to share something with that person, and maybe they have some kind of negative feedback toward what you're talking about, and maybe you take that really personally, which when it comes to your creative work, you probably do. And that could really interfere with your process of focusing on that and working on it. So it's just food for thought. Like proving yourself, that's a topic I want to cover in so many ways. There is a magic to keeping things to yourself, at least for a while you're working on them, because you want to protect things and you don't want to share things with the wrong people, because when you do that, you get some kind of feedback that could be perceived as negative, that could really derail your process of whatever it is that you're doing, and it can make you feel discouraged. I've definitely shared a lot of things with people that aren't connected to that kind of world or situation. So they don't really have, so it's like there's a difference between getting constructive feedback from somebody or constructive criticism or some kind of something constructive in an opinion about something that you're doing versus somebody giving you an opinion that has no idea, like they don't even know about that situation. They don't do those types of things. They're not creating those types of things. So in that sense, it's useless feedback if it's somebody that can't connect to that in any way. It's just like feedback for the sake of like almost wanting them to validate you for what you're doing. And I think that's where that energy was coming from before, is like wanting people to validate me for things that I'm doing. So I have a lot of side things that I do in my life, and YouTube being one of them. And so it's like I've tried to connect with people that aren't really connected to the other, the more right brain things. And it just kind of falls flat, or it gets met with almost like a negative sort of, I don't know, just it's been met with energy that doesn't serve me. It's not helpful for what I'm trying to do, and it has definitely at times halted what I'm doing, because maybe I've taken something that somebody has said, something that somebody might have said way too much to heart, interfered with my process of doing something. Because when I'm doing my creative things, I really feel good. Again, sometimes, if there's like people around, like there was a couple people around recently. There's like nobody around now, but that I know of anyway. There's a level of split energy when I do these videos out here. And I've said this a million times. Like now I've got 10 videos published. If this makes it, this will be the 11th video, and I'll probably do the rest of this video in the car. I might do a retake of this whole video in the car, just because of the fact that there is some split energy when I'm out here. So, and I can't always stay on top of, I can't always stay focused or stay on top of whatever topic I've currently landed on. So, with all that said, the proving yourself thing, that I'm going to cover in so many other kind of ways and other areas that it can affect you. For this video, for what I'm talking about right now, just things that you're working on, whether it's like a dominant thing that you're working on or things on the side, and you kind of want to share them with people, but and then maybe you go to share them with people, you share that information with people, and maybe it's greeted with some kind of, I don't necessarily want to say like negative feedback, but some kind of feedback that's not really, it doesn't really point you, it's not what you were looking for. Like maybe you were looking for some kind of validation in sharing it. You want people to validate you for like this other side of you that you have, and enthusiastic, like when you shared the information, and it was greeted with basically the opposite of that. That's happened like so many times to me, and I feel like, well, like right here and right now, my opinion of that is maybe the energy that I was sharing it in was not the right energy in the first place, because maybe I'm trying to get validation and I don't need that from people. Like maybe it's better for me to work on things secretly that I'm trying to work on, and I don't have to tell people about it. And when it's finished, then I can tell people about it. But knowing myself, fully knowing myself, and knowing how I could be derailed from my process of things pretty quickly, I would say that's enough for me to know when I should share things with people and when I shouldn't. So maybe the sharing of the things previously has been an example of me, or it's been me trying to get validation for something that I'm doing, recognition for something that I'm doing that isn't recognized in the setting that I'm in predominantly. I hope I said that right. I can fix it later. When it comes to other creative endeavors that I have going on or have had going on, if somebody doesn't have that personal experience, that's not something that they personally do, then the conversation is kind of, it's pointless to try to have a conversation, is what I'm trying to say. Basically, the message that I'm trying to convey is there's an ego amount of, there's an aspect of ego that's trying to get the validation from someone else or other people for the things. So when I've tried to share things, there was a time when I think maybe I needed someone to validate, yeah, this is cool, you should be doing this. And now I'm like, I absolutely positively am so opposite from that. It's like ridiculous. Like, in no way, shape, or form do I ever need anybody's validation to do any of the creative, anything that I'm doing. Anything that I'm doing at all. Let's put it that way. So I don't need that. When it comes to sharing for the sake of sharing and maybe wanting like people to respond to it, maybe there's a level of ego that came with that, and maybe I was just being greeted with the same like ego level energy that was me sharing it with the wrong people. I don't know how else to put that. That sounds kind of negative, but when I say with the wrong people, with people that can't connect to that idea or those ideas. So proving yourself is really that ego energy, and it will block you. It blocks you from doing the things that you should be doing. And when I say should, I'm careful with using that word. Should meaning something you know you want to do. You actually want to do something for yourself that you want to do. But it'll block it because the energy of proving yourself is really needing other people to validate you for something. We need other people's validation and we have to wait for that. It'll really stop. Like if you're waiting for that to happen, you're really stopping yourself from doing so many things that you could be doing. There's somebody doing donuts right now, intentionally. But anyway, not everybody's going to understand you, and not everybody's meant to understand you. You're meant to align with the people that do understand you. I mean, that's why I made my channel. Well, but the recording stopped, like, I don't know, 3 times. So I don't really know how much I have. I don't know how much is usable. Today's topic is the energy of proving yourself. I started to mention it maybe in the first video, and then I just kind of like went to some other thing. It might have been the second video. I don't know. There's going to be probably many videos on this topic. It's just such a thing that I think prevents people from doing the things that they want to be doing in their life, in their lives. It's very problematic, and we want to drop that. We want to drop the energy of proving yourself. You didn't come here to prove anything to anybody. You didn't come here to prove anything to anybody at all. You validate you. The only validation you need is your own. And I know this is said on many other channels, but sometimes it just needs to be said in like some other way. So here's me saying it. I'm just suggesting that there are many people on this planet. So if you haven't aligned with your tribe of people now, you will. Sometimes it takes some time of being kind of like, I don't want to say alone, but spending a lot of time with yourself to figure out who you truly are and what you actually want out of life. And then you will align with the right people. You will connect with other people. So that is really important, so that you are, the ideas, the principles that you live by are your true core principles. And then you're not violating them to be in the presence of or have friendships with people that don't align with those principles. I assure you there are many people that do align with those principles. They exist. They might just not exist in the tiny, like, little, I don't know, geographical plane that you're currently residing in. You know, it's very important to be in the energy of the right people. And sometimes you're going to find yourself in energies that don't serve you. You know, if you can't find anybody that is truly supportive, spending some time alone to self-reflect is the best thing to do, at least momentarily. You know, I'm not suggesting you isolate, but momentarily, because like I said, there's a lot of people on this planet. There are people that truly, absolutely align with you and with your values and your principles. With that said, I'm actually going to go in the car because I am freezing, but it's allegedly 50 or maybe in the 40s, but the wind is blowing and there's snow out here, so we'll continue this inside. So, I have to thaw out. I am very cold right now. I feel much better now that I'm in the car. There was somebody doing donuts in their car. I don't ever suggest doing that. I don't know if they're trying to get my attention. Like, the fact that sometimes there's people around and I get like split energy or whatever, I get self-conscious, you know, I'm getting used to that. I mean, I'm doing these videos whether there's people around or not. I mean, there's people, you see people that I'm surprised there was nobody on I don't think there was anybody on the trail. I guess I'll find out when I go to edit the videos if there's anybody on the trail today. I didn't hear anybody walk by. I did see 2 people enter the trail. I don't feel like they ever passed me. Maybe they went in the other direction. I don't know, but let me turn the heat up. There's other places that I'm going to definitely do these videos outside where I probably will have more privacy. I already have a couple places queued up in my mind when it warms up. Because aside from the fact that sometimes there's a little bit of split energy, like if there's people around, there's also like split energy due to the fact that it's currently like freezing outside. So it's like I'm like struggling to stay warm, struggling to like think about what I'm talking about. And then also like if there's like people in a car doing donuts, that can be very distracting. So there's a like many levels of distraction. As you can see though, still, despite the fact that it's edited, it was just very flowing because I was in my car. So I want to make sure that my message comes through very powerfully and very authentically. So if there is too much split energy, like with doing the videos outside, like I said, I do all these disclaimers, but I do them outside because it's really a getting and staying out of my comfort zone exercise. But if it's going to interfere with delivering a good video, that's why I like doing the endings in the car. I want to make sure that I'm consistently staying out of my comfort zone and challenging myself. Because still to date, I still sometimes get a little anxious if I see somebody, or like it's like, oh cool, like the people that were here like drove away, but then now there's like new people. So I just want to make sure. It's really weird too. It's really weird because I feel like when there's people in their car, they intimidate me more than like the people that are literally walking on the trail behind me. I think it's because it's the mystery of not knowing who's in the car. I think that's what it is. Like I don't know what they're doing or what's going on. I can't see them. I could just see like a car. So that's really interesting to me. I found like the level of anxiety. See people out of their car. I'm talking and I don't even like care, but it's like people that are in the car. I don't know. It's weird. So yeah, I always like to show that because it's so pretty. It's so beautiful, like the snow. It looks so pretty. I should do like a Valentine's video. I love Valentine's Day. I'm so weird, but I literally love Valentine's Day. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think it's because of elementary school, like the little things that we used to make. Like we used to bring in the milk cartons and then have to like make mailboxes out of them. And then we would, do the Valentines, like buy the Valentines and exchange Valentines. And of course, like the ones that came with candy were like the best. So like when my kids went to school, I made sure that I always bought ones that came with candy, like, because that was like a big deal to me. But it's like that. It's like I love chocolate, plant-based diet, not promoting any kind of diet for people, but I'm plant-based, so my chocolate is dairy-free, but I do love chocolate. And I love roses, and it's very cliche. I love the smell of them. I think they're beautiful. And I don't know, like self-care, like it's like if you're not in a relationship with somebody, take it as a day of like massive self-care and like pampering yourself. Buy yourself the chocolates, buy yourself the flowers, buy yourself jewelry. If I'm not telling you to spend money that you don't have or anything, but like pamper yourself, like take yourself shopping. Take yourself out to lunch. Like, go out to lunch with a friend. Like, I don't know, do luxurious things for yourself. Like, you don't have to wait for somebody to come along and do those things. So, I don't know. I love Valentine's Day. I mean, my birthday, I'm an Aquarius. My birthday's in February also. So that could be a reason I also love Valentine's Day, because it's like my birthday is in that month. And, I don't know, February's a cool month. But I want to dig more deep, into the proving yourself thing. It just blocks you from so many things. Like, feeling like we have to have somebody on board with what our visions are for life. Sometimes you'll never do that. You'll never be able to do that. It's a battle you're never going to win, because it's your vision, And another thing I want to talk about is, in addition to that, the other side of that is that we get a reflection of ourselves in other people. So wherever we don't feel validated by another person for some reason or whatever it is, it's a reflection of energy of active within yourself already. So it's just important to know that, to understand that, kind of both of those things. Like, if we feel like we're in the energy of proving ourselves, it's like, what's the deeper picture to that? There's something else going on within you that is causing you to feel like you need that validation from other people. Or if you don't feel like you're getting the validation from other people, there's something going on within yourself that you're getting that energy reflected back, because everything is a mirror. And like I said in another video, I don't know, maybe 2 videos ago, the video before last video, like, this thing that's playing out, reacting to it isn't going to do anything. This is a done deal. This is a movie that's been made based on your previous beliefs and thoughts. So we have to look within ourselves if we want a change on the outside. The video I was going to make, now that I'm thawing out, is, and I'll dig deep on a future video about this, and I want to cover it super quick. I'll just touch upon it super quick while I'm still here. Lie to yourself. It's going to be a turnoff to a lot of people. But the problem is when you're reacting to this outer world, you're reacting to something you've already created, or aligned with, I should say. It's a done deal. It's a done movie. It's a movie that's been done. It's playing out now. This thing that you see playing out is something that was created with your previous beliefs and thoughts. So if you want to change things, you have to tell yourself a different story in your mind. So if you're telling yourself, or you're stressed out about something, you're like, why is this happening? Or why is that happening? You're perpetuating that story, and you're going to keep getting a reflection of that story. So change the script of the story. And when I say lie to yourself, if something is playing out in a way that you don't want to see, talk about it as if it is playing out the way that you want it to be. Just play games with yourself. Like I said before, be an actor. Have fun with it. It can be really difficult when you're in stressful situations, and I totally understand that, because please do believe me that I have been in very stressful situations. I've recently been, have gone, like I said, when your reality will freak out to show you, it's going to test you. It's going to test you on all of this. When you start making changes and you start changing your beliefs and questioning your beliefs that you've had that have produced outcomes that are less than desirable, less than ideal. Your reactions to things. I want to definitely dig much deeper on your reactions to things. And I do want to give a shout out to Aaron Dowdy's channel. He does not need my shout out. He's very successful. But I want to once again give his High Vibe Tribe community a shout out, because I've met some really lovely people in there. And like I said in the last video, that kind of energy is what I want for my channel. I want to connect with people and have authentic conversations and like perseverance and accomplishments and just being, cheering each other on. I just think that's so awesome, and I love that. And that's the kind of energy that I want to be in other people's lives, and it's the kind of energy that I want to surround myself with. So with that said, again, this is Rika Star Rose. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you've subscribed, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not. And I will see you soon.